Hi guys, this is Nitin here. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we will talk about a important Java interview question, that is how to shorten integer array in ascending order. So before we proceed for sorting an array, first we will check what is actually the sorting is. So in programming, the sorting is a way to arrange an array or a list in a certain order. That order can be a ascending order or it can be a descending order. So when we say ascending order, as in uh, the largest element will be located at the last index of the element, and the smallest element will be available at the 0th index of the array. Right? When we talk about descending an array, then in that case, the smallest element will be available at the last index of an array, and the largest element will be available at the 0th index of an array. So basically, this sorting can be done using two ways in Java. So first is using sort method. That's a inbuilt method in Java in arrays class, right? And the second way is without using the sort method, right? So for that, we will have to write the sorting logic. Okay, we will see both methods one by one, right? And once we have the sorted array, we can find the largest element of an array, we can find the second largest element of an array, we can find third largest element of an array, or we can find the smallest element, second smallest element. So these all scenarios will also be covered once we have the sorted array. So for today's discussion, I will use my input array as this array, and wherein I have some positive numbers and some negative numbers. And in this array, I have 12 elements. So in these 12 elements, this is the smallest number and this is the largest number, right? And once we sort this array, we get this as output. So minus 65 being the smallest and plus 90 is the largest number. And all the numbers between these two numbers will be within my array. Okay. So let's check this on the Eclipse. So let me go to Eclipse. So I have my sorting array class. That first let me declare an array, declare an 1D array, and I will use the array which we have seen here. So yeah, first what we will do, we will check the length of array using length property, and that I will store in length variable. Okay, now first I will print my array before sorting. For printing an array, what we do, we use for loop. Right? So my for loop will start from index 0, and then it will go until the last index of the array. So my for loop will start from int I equal to 0, I less than length I plus plus. Then I will print my array here, AR of I plus space, and I will remove ln from here and ln from here also, so that I get the output on the same line, and I am using a space after printing each element. So this is the traditional way of printing an array. So I'm not explaining this. Let me run this program and check if we are getting the output as whatever we have given as input, right? So this is before sorting. Now I will be sorting this array using arrays sort method in arrays class. So for that we will use arrays dot sort, and in that I will pass my array as parameter. Once we have sorted once we have used this method, we should get the sorted array, right? And I will have to print that array. So let me reuse these statements. So here what I will do, I will just change it to after sorting, and then rest all things would be same. Okay, let me save it and then just run this program. So we are getting the output on the same line. So what I will do, I'll just print one new line here. Let me save and run the program. Yeah. So this is my array before sorting and this is my array after sorting. So here I am getting minus 65 as the smallest number in the array and plus 90 as largest number in the array. So this we have done using sort method of array class. Now if an interviewer asks you to create your own logic and then do that, then for that we will have to create our sorting logic. So let's try that. Let me comment these lines and let me write the sorting logic here. So for sorting an array, what we will do, we will compare each element with the other element. And if my first element is bigger than the second element, then I will have to swipe them. So this comparison will be working like I will compare 78 with 34, and after swapping I will compare 30 or 34 with 1, and after swapping I will compare 1 with 3, then 1 with 90, 1 with 34, 1 with minus 1. So since minus 1 is smaller, then minus 1 would come here and 1 would come here. Then 1 with minus 4, as in minus 1 with minus 4. So again, those will be swapped. So minus 4 and minus 1 here. So likewise, I will do the comparison for first iteration. And for next iteration, after the first iteration, first iteration is completed, I'll get the smallest number here. And then I will start my loop from this number, and then I will compare this number with this number, and then I will compare this number with this number. So likewise, it will go until we find the highest number here. So we will use two for loop for that. First is the outer for loop, that I will start from 0, I less than length of array I plus plus. And second for loop, I will start from I plus 1 followed by j less than length j plus plus. Now inside this loop, what I will do, I will declare one temporary variable and I will initialize that variable with 0. And then I will check if the value at 0th position is greater than value at first position. If that is the case, then we will just swap them. So for that, what we will do, we will first assign the value of array at 0th position to temporary variable. Then we will assign the value of first position in the array to value of to the value at 0th position in array, and then finally we will assign the value of temporary variable to first position. So temporary, right? So once we are done with this, we will get the smallest number at first position, at 0th position, and the big number at first position after this swapping. And once we are done for this, then we will check for the next combination, right? Once everything is done, then once the iteration for this loop is done, then we will print the smallest number here using AR of I. We will have the smallest number by that time. And let me run this. Let me just uncomment this line, and then after sorting, and I will have to print this also, so that I get both the outputs in different line. So let me save and run and check if I am getting the correct output or not. Yeah, so since we have not added a space, so I am just doing that, and let me just redone this. Okay, so we are getting the right output here. Now I will tell you what we are doing here. So in first iteration, the value of array at 0th position is 78, and the value of array at first position is 34. Since 78 is greater than 34, then this swiping will happen. So the value of temp would be 78. Value of AR of I would be, or AR of 0 would be 34, and value of AR of 1 would be 78. So this is after we finish executing these statements. So my array would look like 34, 78, and then remaining number. Okay. Now my next comparison would happen between 34 and 1. Okay. So 34 and 1, and then since 34 is bigger than 1, so then the swapping of elements will happen, and then 1 would come at this position and 34 would come at this position. So this is how we will complete the inner for loop. And finally, after completing the inner for loop, we will get the smallest number at the 0th index. Now, then my value of I would be increased by 1, and then for that value the inner for loop will execute again. Then comparison would start from second element and third element, and then second element and fourth element, second element and fifth element, second element and sixth element. Likewise, it will continue till here, right? For the second value of I. So I'll get the second smallest number here, that is -4. Likewise, it will continue until we get the highest number here. Okay. So once we get the sorted array, what we can print, we can directly check what is my highest number. So for that, let's say I am checking for the highest number. So highest number plus of AR length -1, because length of array is 12, and we want the number available at 11th index, because indexing starts from 0, right? And similarly, the second highest number would be second highest number would be length of array -2. Similarly, the third highest number would be AR -3. Okay. Likewise, we can print the smallest number also. So my smallest number would be AR of 0, and my second smallest number would be AR of 1. Okay, so let me try. We are getting the right output or not. Okay, here we go. So my highest number is 90, second highest number is 78, third highest number is 55. My smallest number is minus 65, and second smallest number is minus 2. Right, so we have seen how to sort the array using arrays.sort method and by our own sorting logic. And once we have the sorted array, we can identify the highest number, second highest number, third highest number, or whatever the number we are looking for. Right, so this is a kind of frequently asked interview question in Java interview. So please practice that, and once you are like done with practice, you will be able to solve any kind of scenarios listed here. So I am coming up with more such interview questions going forward. So please subscribe to the channel if you like the video, and uh, please share it with your family and friends who are actually looking for any sort of automation training. So thank you for watching this. Have a good day. Thank you so much.